Hey everybody, it's JT Sports Match, you guys, with another video. This video I'm here with my Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants. Preview and prediction. I'm going to be previewing this matchup and give my prediction on who will win this game. Now before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Upload NFL videos and NFL content daily. Also upload college football videos as well. So the New York Giants are going to be on the road playing the Dallas Cowboys. And somehow, some way, this is America's game of the week. Don't know how. I'm pretty sure America would rather watch a couple of other games than watch the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys play. But somehow this game still ends up being on Sunday Night Football and getting primetime spots on national television in front of the majority of the American audience for this game to be watched. And I don't know how. So the New York Giants got rid of Odell Beckham. The Odell Beckham era is now over in New York. So they got rid of him. They got guys in Jabril Peppers now. They got Zeitler. So the offensive line and the defense. The secondary of the defense, I don't really know about. I think the secondary is going to be a lot better than what people are giving it credit for. I really like DeAndre Baker out of Georgia. I like Julian Love. And I like Janoris Jenkins, Jack Rabbit. And I also like Jabril Peppers back there. So I think the secondary is going to be pretty okay. A lot of people think this is going to end up being a terrible secondary or whatnot. But I think this New York Giants secondary is going to be okay. Now for the Dallas Cowboys. This Dallas Cowboys team, as much as I hate to say this, I think this Dallas Cowboys team is going to end up being one of the best teams in all of football this year. And it pains me to say that because you see it in the background. Yes, I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. It hurts my heart to say that. It absolutely hurts my soul. But I pride my channel on non-biased takes and opinions. And this Dallas Cowboys team, top to bottom, is very complete. You got Ezekiel Elliott back. They just gave him a contract extension a couple of days ago. Dak Prescott is a solid quarterback. You got a very good receiving core. You got Randall Cobb. You got Michael Gallup, who I think a lot of people are really sleeping on Michael Gallup. And here's why. So before the Dallas Cowboys traded for Amari Cooper, they traded for Amari Cooper nearing the middle of the season, right? Michael Gallup was their best receiver in my opinion. And I think a lot of people aren't giving Michael Gallup the credit he deserves. I think Michael Gallup is going to have an absolutely phenomenal year for the Dallas Cowboys. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up going for 1,000 yards along with Amari Cooper, and both of those guys end up making the Pro Bowl. I really like Michael Gallup a lot, and I was really high on him last year when the Dallas Cowboys drafted him in that previous draft from last season because this guy was an absolute stud for Colorado State. I knew this guy was going to be a very solid wide receiver. When this guy literally almost was putting up great numbers against a phenomenal Alabama defense and a phenomenal Alabama secondary. So I think a lot of people are really sleeping on Michael Gallup this season. Don't be surprised if Michael Gallup ends up making it to the Pro Bowl. So I really like their offense. Offensive line is going to come back fully healthy. They're getting their starting center back in Travis Frederick. And a lot of people are overlooking the impact that Travis Frederick has, right? Travis Frederick now makes his Dallas Cowboys, without a doubt, without no argument, this is the best offensive line in football. The center position is so undervalued in my opinion. If you have a great center, then most of the time you end up having a very good offensive line. So the center's like the quarterback of the offensive line. If you don't have a good center, then most of the time your offensive line isn't going to be good. When you look at some of the best offenses in the NFL, what you're going to notice is that they all have good centers. So I think having Travis Frederick back is going to boost his Dallas Cowboys offensive line even more. So getting into my keys to victory, what each of these teams is doing, able to have a chance to win this game. For the New York Giants, you got to give Saquon Barkley the ball. Saquon Barkley is the best player on the offensive side of the ball. This guy's a freak. And I also need him to have 30 points this game for my fantasy football team. So Saquon Barkley, what the New York Giants want to do is they want to run the ball. They want to keep the ball out of Eli Manning's hands. You don't want Eli Manning. You don't want to ask Eli Manning at this point in his career to, hey, You're not going to ask Eli Manning at this point in his career to be like, hey, Eli, go back there and win the game for us. We're going to make you throw the ball 30 times a game. You're not going to ask Eli Manning to win the game throwing the ball 30 times anymore. You want to give Saquon Barkley somewhere between 20 and 25 touches. Give him a little bit of a breather, maybe a couple of plays that you substitute somebody in for about 5-6 plays. But Saquon Barkley is going to be the workhorse for this New York Giants team. And if the New York Giants are looking to make a playoff push, it all starts with Saquon Barkley. And Saquon Barkley, a lot of people think he can end up winning MVP if he ends up having an Adrian Peterson-like season. A lot of you guys might not remember, but Adrian Peterson, when he was coming off that ACL injury back in, what was it, 2012 or 2013? Don't quite remember the year. I want to say it was 2012. So Adrian Peterson came back, won NFL MVP, helped the Minnesota Vikings make it to the playoffs that year. So if the New York Giants are looking to make a playoff run or a playoff push, this is going to start with Saquon Barkley. So Saquon Barkley is going to be the workhorse. You're going to want to give him a good amount of touches in this game if the New York Giants are trying to win this game. The next thing they need to do is they have to be able to stop Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott, I think, is the best player on this Dallas Cowboys offense. And a lot of people say Dak Prescott and things like that. But let's face it, we saw what Dak Prescott is without Ezekiel Elliott. And with Ezekiel Elliott, it opens up so many opportunities for this Dallas Cowboys team. You can do zone reads. You got Kellen Moore now as the offensive coordinator. So they're probably going to do a lot of zone reads. They're probably going to run Dak Prescott a lot more. And so what the New York Giants need to do, they need to stack the box. And you need to take Ezekiel Elliott out of the game completely. Make him irrelevant. And by doing that, you force the pressure on Dak Prescott. Because when Dak Prescott is a solid quarterback, but he's not a quarterback who you can ask to put the team on his shoulders and carry your team to a win. So if you're the New York Giants and you're trying to win this game, you want Dak Prescott to have to win this game without Ezekiel Elliott, basically. So basically, Ezekiel Elliott has to be completely taken out the game. Maybe use him in passing situations or something like that. But take Ezekiel Elliott out the game some way, somehow. They have to figure out how to do that. And make Dak Prescott win the game. Because Dak Prescott's a solid quarterback. But when Dak Prescott has to carry the team on his shoulders and carry the Dallas Cowboys to a win, I don't think he can do that. So if you're the New York Giants, that's something in your favor. If you're the New York Giants and you're looking to win this game, you have to force the Dallas Cowboys to rely on Dak Prescott to win the game. So the next thing is for the Dallas Cowboys, on the Dallas Cowboys side, for them to win this game, you need to stop Saquon Barkley. I already talked about it earlier. The New York Giants, if they're going to make it to the playoffs, if they're going to win most of their games, it's going to be with Saquon Barkley having the ball. And you need to get Saquon Barkley some way out of the game eliminated. Now, that's going to be hard because Saquon Barkley is a freak of nature. This guy is one of the most athletic, but also most talented and gifted halfbacks I ever seen in all of my 11 years watching football. I mean, this guy can catch passes at the backfield. He's a freak to tackle. I mean, it's just no answer for Saquon Barkley. So you have to find a way to somehow neutralize his effect that he has on this game. You're not going to completely take Saquon Barkley out of the game. You can say that about Ezekiel Elliott, but you kind of want to neutralize the effect that they have on this game. You want to neutralize the impact that Saquon Barkley has on this game if you're the Dallas Cowboys. And you want to force Eli Manning to get back there behind that offensive line and force him to try to win the game throwing the football, and do not let Saquon Barkley dictate the outcome of this game. The next thing the Dallas Cowboys need to do, they need to be able to get pressure on Eli Manning. Now, this offensive line for the Giants is improved, but I'm not that sold on it, to be honest. I think it's improved. I think it's going to be a good group. But if the Dallas Cowboys in the front seven, they should be able to get after Eli Manning. They should be able to heckle him for most of the game. And they should be able to get a couple of sacks and get a couple of hits on Eli Manning. And the last thing they need to do is they need to get out to a big lead early. So I think for the New York Giants, they're basically going to be a run. They're going to be a run-first team, let's face it. Saquon Barkley is their best player on this team. So they're obviously going to try to give him the ball. And if you're down early, then you can't run the football. So if Dallas is up big early, let's say they're up 21-0, and somehow during the second quarter or going into halftime, then the Dallas Cowboys are going to force the New York Giants to rely on Eli Manning to have to win the game passing the football, and then the New York Giants aren't going to be able to run the ball like how they would want to, because anytime you're down 21-0, you want to get back into the game as fast as possible, which means the New York Giants aren't really going to try to run the ball that much. So if you get out to a big lead early, you can force the New York Giants to try to come from behind with Eli Manning. And with Eli Manning at quarterback, I love Eli, but if Eli Manning has to be asked to win this game and bring the New York Giants back, if I'm the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator, I'm licking my chops. So those are my keys to victory, what each of these teams is doing able to have a chance of winning this game. And the team that I'm going to go with to win this game, I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are just a way better team than the New York Giants. I do think this game is going to be a little closer than what a lot of people might think that it will be. I'm going to take that the Dallas Cowboys win this game 21-14 is my final score for this game. So I think the Dallas Cowboys win this game 21-14 against the New York Giants. This game normally isn't a blowout most of the time, despite the differential in talent. Most of the time, this game is fairly competitive for the most part. And I think the New York Giants will be able to hang around maybe for a little bit with this new Dallas Cowboys team. But since it is a rivalry game in the divisional matchup and these teams know each other fairly well, I do think the Dallas Cowboys will pull away in this game. But I do think this game might end up being a little bit closer than what people expect. So I'll take Dallas 21-14. And this is it for my New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys preview and prediction. Let me know what you guys think. Who will win this game down in the comment section down below. Also make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos daily. And thanks for watching.